Hi guys. So I quickly just simply want to address a few manifestation hacks that um, I've seen a lot of blind people lead the blind lately and say things that don't make total sense. So I want to correct them. Okay. First and foremost, the reason you must believe what you're saying is because you're the only one to convince. Reality is made in your head, nowhere else. So you are the one you are trying to convince, nothing else. Okay? The reason things that appear hard is because you haven't realized that the world is behind your skull and made in your skull and not outside because it's appearing outside of you. The reason it appears outside of you is because your eyes are more like a mirror. Everything is reflected back at you and looks like it's directly in front of you but is behind you. This is exactly how a mirror works. When a mirror reflects back at you what you're seeing, you are looking directly in front of it, so it looks as if the objects are in front of you. But technically, everything you see is behind you, and this is exactly how reality is made. So one of the things that I want to talk about, because it's one of my biggest pet peeves, is people affirming for other people when they're trying to manifest someone. Let me explain how counterintuitive this is. You see, the world itself runs on autopilot based on the story and your beliefs that you have made and nothing else. The world itself is a confession of your character and nothing else. What you see and everything in the karmic circle that you are experiencing, and for those that don't believe karmic circles exist, thousands of years of history tell you otherwise. Okay? Cause and effect. Karma is the law of cause and effect. Therefore, karmic circles are very much real and made by you, so you can understand the relationship between cause and effect. Therefore, if you want to come into the world and experience a world that is free of your family drama, if you want to free yourself of a karmic pattern of your family history, then you create the family history, you invite all the guests into your reality. The carcass itself runs on autopilot in order for you to experience this reality. It is one of many realities. It is not the only reality, but this is the reality you created to have your experience. It is understanding this that gives you power over your illusion. It is a lack of understanding this that causes suffering in your world. It is because you don't understand that you have made it in order to transcend it that you lack power and feel as if the world is happening to you instead of you happening to it. So again, the reason we do not affirm for others is because it's a counterintuitive waste of time. Can you do it? Absolutely. Does it work? Yeah, sometimes, sorta. Mixed bag results. How many of you have achieved your result only to fall back into the same habitual pattern and be upset with yourself because you knew better but yet couldn't get out of autopilot? That's because you worked on them, not you. See, I know what I'm talking about because I'm talking about instant manifestation. I'm talking about realizing you're the light of the world. I'm talking about the constant that is true of everyone. I'm talking about the fact that the world is made in your head, that it is all mental. These are old as time, and if we disregard everything that we have learned throughout history, then we are missing the mark because all of it serves you. You have to understand how everything was constructed. You have to understand how everything was made, and more importantly, you have to understand that the people behaving the way that they are in your world are doing you the extreme favor of showing you what you believe. You must reverse engineer this to have what you want instantly. You must be able to do so with a compassionate and detached heart. You must understand, okay? I will never, clearly, never sit here and say, John loves me, Jen loves me, Mary Kate loves me, Brian loves me. The fuck? No, I love me. I love me, and therefore my illusion loves me because it's a mirror. It's a shortcut. Do you understand how counterintuitive it is to sit here and pine away for something that runs on autopilot based on your state? I'm being real now. This is your in-your-face conversation because I love you, trying to tell you how to speed things up in your reality. Trying to get you to understand everyone is a walking thought bubble of yourself and your beliefs, and your neutrality, your acceptance, and ownership of this gives you the power to change it. If you don't realize you're the operant power, yes, you can work hard and discover this on your own, but it is an old paradigm. Because if you understand that the whole thing is made by you, for you, and by you, then you can destroy it or recreate it at will. This is what is meant by I give life and I take it away. So you have to understand what these words mean. They're written for you, about you. And they are your manual to controlling and having peace over your universe. So as you notice, I will never sit here and affirm, Brian loves me, Brian loves me, Brian loves me, Brian loves me. Who the fuck am I trying to convince except myself? And so if I waste my time with this type of affirmation, it is only because I believe it's opposite, and therefore the opposite is appearing, and that is helpful and useful knowledge, but it's also a waste of time to continue to uphold it because I unconsciously am fighting against my own belief. Do you see how reverse engineering it can make instant sense of it? So you must make these things normal to you. Your affirmations are no good unless you believe them. Okay? You don't have to believe them at first. Granted, that is true. So long as you know the object of the game is to convince yourself that it is true so you can have it. But you are the only one in the equation. Therefore, understand that repeating something mindlessly trying to convince yourself is only because you don't believe it in the first place, so you're already serving as your own obstacle. Okay? You want to eliminate obstacles. It's about working not harder, but smarter. And in reverse engineering your creation, you actually realize instant manifestations and the world that you desire is yours and can be. And proof and evidence of this is hot and cold behavior. You see, when you are vibing at your best, have you noticed how hot your interactions are? They're awesome. You're like, okay? The minute you're introduced to your own doubt so you can see it to transmute it and you fall, you get cold behavior. But you, my darling, are the light operating the shadow that gives you the hot and cold. You, not them. So when you don't know that, you feel as if this world is happening to you. That is backwards. You are happening to it. And when you reverse engineer things back to your source, you will understand the relationship. And instead of trying to bypass what is happening, you will be there physically smiling, knowing what to do next based on what the illusion is showing you. If you can do so unbiased and simply know in what happens next, you will notice that the invisible power that animates everything in your image will appear as you know it to be. This is a biohack. This is a shortcut. So the shortcuts you are looking for to get instant manifestations, first and foremost, make it feel real and natural to yourself. You must aim for belief in what you are saying. To embody it, you must believe it. If you feel as if you are lying to yourself, this is called wishful thinking and will lead to a wait and lag time in manifestation and frustrations that are unnecessary, not to mention the fact that you will feel as if you've worked so hard that you need a break from manifesting. These are all indications that you've been doing it wrong. that you've been going about it the hard way, serving as your own obstacle and being the obstacle. This is like creating a whole obstacle course, being the whole obstacle course, and then participating in the obstacle course when you could have made it as hard or as easy as you wanted based on the fact that you are its creator. So when you start to get comfortable with this, you'll ditch the fear. You'll ditch the anxiety. You'll ditch the worry. The reason you want to ditch these things is because this is the resistance that is causing the lag time between you entering your state now and staying there and going back and forth and toggling, or not managing to stabilize what it is you're attempting to create. Okay? What's nice and really awesome is you'll get glimpses, which is what the hot and cold behavior actually is. Glimpses of what is possible when your state becomes your normal. But like I said, I will never sit here and affirm these people love me. Okay? Never. I love myself. And therefore, what they do and what they show up as is someone who says, I love you. I want to marry you. You are my universe. You are my everything. My whole world is better because of you. You know, they say the things you should be saying to yourself. And that's how you know that it is proof. This is why you don't waste your time affirming for others. Why? Because if you are the source image that the world reflects, then the source image is what needs to be worked on. Not out there. Not out there. Okay? So I would hesitate to take relationship advice from someone who is not in a relationship, who hasn't managed to stay in a relationship. Because if that's their way of telling you how to do it, then the blind is leading the blind. You want someone who already has what you have, and therefore you know how to imitate the vibe, because that is the question that I'm asked often. Cindy, what does it feel like to always be chosen? Cindy, what does it feel like to be on the receiving end of someone being this way towards you? What does this feel like? Well, I tell you what it feels like. If you gave these things to yourself, you would know, because the reflection has to do what you do. In love is love reflected means that even when you hate yourself and hate the experiences that made you you, in other words, you have resentment, unresolved trauma, whatever it is that you're harboring and you're upset because someone did something to you, okay, this must be reflected out there so that you can correct it within yourself, so you can experience the reality in which you are always accepted, loved, and cared for. But this begins with you. Okay? And you'll notice this. You don't get what you want, but what you expect. So if you expect negatively, it doesn't matter that you expect negatively, you'll get negative. If you expect positive, you'll get positive. But the faith in this becomes knowing that you are the one creating it all in your head. Secondly, you cannot desire something, continue to desire something, and have it. I say this often, I'm going to say it again. The desire serves as the guidance system for your brain. Your brain sits in absolute darkness, and your heart, your desire, your heart's desire is your seeing eye dog telling you what was given and why you are there. So it is a necessary part of the equation, but it is incomplete if you continue to desire, if you continue to want something. This is incomplete. You're not letting your seeing eye dog lead the blind father to where it wants to go. Do you understand that analogy? But if you use it and you pray properly, which is what I was asked to do, right? Make a video on how to pray properly. You pray properly by acknowledging the desire, being grateful for having it already, spending a little time relishing the feeling of having it because you know you do, and you are convinced, and you make it feel real to yourself. Then you drop it. Then the desire is complete. You have used what the Father gave you before you even needed it. And what will happen is you will end up in situations where your desire is real without effort. You simply show up. So there is a life beyond suffering. There is a life where things happen instantly. And there is a life in which your person, whoever this person is, loves you the way you desire to be loved. But the shortcut here is not affirming, oh my gosh, Jen loves me, John loves me, Mary Kate loves me, Brian loves me. That's not the shortcut, baby love. The shortcut is realizing that you don't believe that, and that's why you don't have it. And the second you believe it, you will have it. It has to become the norm from which you live. It must feel real. You must live from the state to get it extremely fast. You must know that you are its creator, you guys. When you know this, you can have whatever you want. Whatever you want. But you have to understand you are the power. You are the one you're trying to convince. Don't waste your time affirming for others. You can do this, but I told you, this is the equivalent of parking a car in front of a tree, getting out on the passenger side or whatever, and going outside and chopping down the tree. Although you can still do all this just to open your car door, it is unnecessary. If the outer reality runs on autopilot based on your state, then affirming for others is counterintuitive because they automatically will be as you are. Therefore, work on you. Put the focus back on you. When you place the focus back on you, the outer reality places the focus back on you. If you make it about them and make them the prize, then you won't be, because you've detracted from your own understanding. I hope this helps. I hope you guys let this sink in. Let it marinate a little bit. Because I know my ways are the opposite of what people, coaches, quote unquote, tell you to do, especially the 3D ones that are telling you, affirm, 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 affirm from a place of lack. Okay? I'm the opposite of that. However, I do have the things that you are seeking. And so I don't have to affirm because I know how it works. Therefore, if you want the shortcuts, if you want the biohacks, stay tuned and try to learn these things this way. You will discover you have been the power all along. It has nothing to do with what I can do. I'm just sitting here as the example of what you all can do in yourselves. You remember how Jesus said that? Jesus said, you will do what I can do and better. I'm standing in the exact same light of understanding. I'm telling you the power is yours and you can do what I can do and so much better. And in fact, that's the reason I teach you, because I learn from you. My biohacking secrets come from you all. When you say, Cindy, I tried this and it worked. I'm like, nice, I haven't thought of that one. And I add it to my arsenal of knowledge. You see, because in a world where everything is me, serving this world the way that I want to be treated is the most important thing that I can ever do. But more importantly, it's understanding that my beliefs are the things enslaving my world. It is my body. And therefore, to get off the karmic wheel, to understand how I made the karmic wheel, to understand cause and effect so that every cause that you create creates an effect that you desire, is the purpose of dropping into this world. Once you understand it, cause and effect will work in your favor. And this will be what you're looking to achieve. I hope this helps. Have a great weekend. Have a great Friday. Enjoy yourselves. And I'll be talking to you soon. Bye, guys.